The world of Zorthai glimmers with towering spires of silver and blue, its cities floating like jewels suspended in a sea of stars. The Zorthai people, known for their intellect and innovation, have long thrived in this serene haven of peace and progress. But today, that peace has been shattered. The skies above are darkened by the shadow of an invasion fleet, their ships cutting through the atmosphere like daggers. The invaders, a ruthless species known as the Krellic, descend upon the Zorthai with brutal precision. They are relentless, driven by a thirst for conquest and a reputation for leaving no survivors. The once pristine cities burn under a rain of firepower, their shimmering domes reduced to rubble. The Zorthai, unprepared for such violence, struggle to defend themselves. Their weapons, designed for peacekeeping, are no match for the overwhelming force of the Krellic. In the streets, panic spreads like wildfire. Families are torn apart, their cries for mercy drowned out by the relentless roar of enemy assault. The Zorthai leaders, huddled in their last remaining council chamber, realize the gravity of their situation. Their defenses are crumbling, their people are dying. They know they must act quickly or face complete annihilation. With heavy hearts, they make the desperate decision to send out a distress signal, a call for help that will echo across the universe. It is their last hope, a plea for salvation in the face of certain doom. The signal is broadcast on all frequencies, a message of urgency and desperation. This is the Zorthai Council. We are under attack. Our people are dying. If anyone is out there, if anyone can hear us, please help us. The message repeats, carried on the winds of the cosmos, reaching distant stars and foreign worlds. But one by one, the recipients turn away. The galactic community knows the Krellic's reputation all too well. No one dares to face them, not even for the Zorthai. Silence follows the call, an indifferent void that seems to swallow their hope. Days pass, and the Zorthai begin to accept their fate. Their once bright eyes dim with despair, as they realize no one is coming. Then, without warning, a single human vessel appears on the edge of Zorthai space. Its dark, angular form is unlike any ship the Zorthai have ever seen. It moves with an eerie stillness, as if it is not bound by the laws of physics that govern other ships. This is the Reaper, a craft known only in whispers and legends. On board are the Elite Reapers, a name that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who has heard it. They are humanity's most feared fighters, a group forged in the crucible of countless wars and battles. They do not come to negotiate or to reason. They come to end conflicts, swiftly and decisively. For reasons unknown, the Reapers have answered the call. There are no greetings, no words of comfort from their leader, only a cold, calculated decision to respond. The Zorthai are unsure whether to feel relief or fear. Who are these humans who would dare to challenge the Krellic? What drives them to take on a mission so dangerous that no other species would consider? As the Reaper's ship moves closer, its dark hull reflecting the dying light of the Zorthai sun, there is a sense that something has shifted in the air. The Zorthai realize that they may have invited an even greater danger into their midst. Yet, in their hearts, there is a flicker of hope, hope that maybe, just maybe, they have found the saviors they so desperately need. The Reaper's arrival changes everything. The universe will soon learn that when the deadliest humans answer a call for help, nothing is ever the same again. The Reapers descend from their ship with an air of silent authority. Their presence is imposing, armor dark and scarred from countless battles, faces hardened and unreadable. Each step they take on Zorthai soil seems to echo with a sense of purpose, their movements precise and calculated. The Zorthai, a race of scholars and scientists, have never seen humans like these before. They had expected diplomats or peacekeepers, but instead, they are met with warriors. At the forefront is their leader, a woman with a fierce gaze, known only as Commander Hale. Her reputation precedes her. Whispers of her tactical genius and cold resolve have spread across many systems. Beside her stands Vargas, a former Special Forces operative with a face marked by old wounds, and Nara, a sniper with an unerring aim and an almost supernatural calm. There is Drax, the tech specialist, whose hands move with the deftness of a surgeon yet can wield a weapon as efficiently as he can hack a system. Each one of them carries a unique skill set, honed by years of surviving the worst humanity and the galaxy have to offer. The Zorthai leaders, still reeling from the destruction of their world, gather hesitantly to meet these enigmatic newcomers. Their faces reflect a mix of hope and uncertainty. They see in the Reapers a force they do not understand, a group that speaks of violence and action when all they have known is negotiation and peace. There is an uneasy tension in the air, as the Zorthai struggle to comprehend the methods of these humans. One of the Zorthai leaders, a counselor named Ellerin, steps forward to address the Reapers, her voice trembling with both fear and a hint of defiance. She speaks of their culture, their aversion to violence, and their desperation for a peaceful resolution. Hale listens with a stoic expression, her eyes never leaving Ellerin's. There is a pause, a moment where the weight of cultural differences feels almost palpable. The Reapers' faces remain unreadable, their intentions unclear. The Zorthai look at each other, silently questioning their decision to seek help from such a group. Some whisper in their language, wondering if they have made a terrible mistake. How can they trust these humans who seem more comfortable in war than in peace? Are they too ruthless? Too unpredictable? The doubts grow louder, their fears almost tangible. For the Zorthai, this is not how diplomacy is conducted. But for the Reapers, this is not a diplomatic mission. Hale finally speaks, her voice cutting through the murmur of uncertainty. She does not offer platitudes or false reassurances. Instead, she speaks with brutal honesty, outlining the reality of the situation. She explains that the Krellic do not understand peace, only power, and that if the Zorthai want to survive, they must be willing to fight. Her words are sharp, direct, and carry the weight of someone who has faced death and won, time and time again. Some of the Zorthai leaders recoil at her bluntness, their expressions tightening. They had hoped for a savior, but what they see is a force of nature, raw and untamed. Yet, as Hale continues, there is a shift in the room. She speaks of the Reapers' past, of battles fought against impossible odds, of victories that were never assured but were taken with sheer determination and unorthodox tactics. She tells them they are not here to negotiate, they are here to win. Her speech strikes a chord. The Zorthai may fear the Reapers, but they cannot deny the truth in Hale's words. They see in her eyes a fierce determination, a will that does not bend to the threat of annihilation. It is something they lack, and something they desperately need. The room falls silent, the doubts still present, but there is a flicker of realization among the Zorthai. They may not fully understand these humans, but they see the strength they bring, a strength that might just be their salvation. After a moment of deliberation, the head of the Zorthai Council nods, his voice reluctant but resolute. They will work with the Reapers. They have no other choice. The agreement is made, but the atmosphere remains tense, as both sides prepare for the battle ahead, uncertain allies in a war neither fully understands. The Krellic forces are vast and imposing, a fleet of warships that stretch across the sky like a swarm of locusts. Their ships are heavily armored, bristling with weaponry designed to obliterate anything in their path. Their ground troops, clad in dark, menacing armor, march with precision, their movements synchronized by a central command system. They advance with cold efficiency, using overwhelming numbers and firepower to crush resistance. Their strategy is simple yet devastating: overpower and destroy with sheer brute force. The Reapers, however, are not deterred. Gathered in their makeshift command post, they begin to strategize their first counterattack. Unlike the Zorthai, who relied on conventional defenses, the Reapers plan to exploit every weakness, using guerrilla tactics that rely on speed, deception, and unpredictability. Commander Hale outlines the plan with the precision of a seasoned tactician, highlighting areas where the Krellic are most vulnerable. The Reapers will not face the enemy head-on. Instead, they will become the shadows, striking swiftly and disappearing before the enemy can react. The first engagement begins. The Reapers move with an agility that belies their heavy armor, spreading out across the terrain with a fluid grace. Vargas, the former Special Forces operative, leads a small team to sabotage the enemy's supply lines. They move silently, cutting through the darkness like phantoms, planting explosives in key locations before slipping away unnoticed. As the charges detonate, the Krellick's carefully coordinated advance stutters, their communication lines disrupted, their troops momentarily disoriented. Meanwhile, Nara, the sniper, positions herself high above the battlefield, her rifle trained on the enemy commanders. One by one, she takes them down with precise shots, creating chaos in the Krellick ranks. Every time they attempt to regroup, another leader falls. Drax, the tech specialist, hacks into the enemy's systems, sowing confusion by scrambling their targeting systems and rerouting their drones back toward their own forces. The Krellick find themselves firing blindly, unsure of where the next attack will come from. The Reaper's strategy is unorthodox, using the terrain to their advantage, laying traps, and creating diversions. They utilize hit-and-run tactics, striking hard and fast, then vanishing before the Krellick can mount a proper response. They set fires that create smoke screens, obscuring visibility and forcing the enemy into vulnerable positions. They use decoys to draw fire away from their main forces and lure the Krellick into prepared kill zones where they can be picked off one by one. The first battle is a whirlwind of controlled chaos. The Krellick, accustomed to overwhelming their enemies with brute force, are caught completely off guard. They are unprepared for this level of unconventional warfare, for an enemy that fights like a ghost, striking from the shadows and disappearing before they can react. The Reapers move like predators, always one step ahead, always exploiting the Krellick's confusion and fear. Key moments stand out. Vargas leads his team in a daring raid on a Krellick command post, capturing critical intelligence and leaving behind a trail of destruction. Nara's uncanny accuracy continues to demoralize the enemy, each shot a calculated blow to their leadership structure. Drax manages to disable a critical component of the enemy's shield generator, allowing the Reapers to breach their defenses with ease. Every member of the Reapers plays their part, each contributing their unique skills to turn the tide of battle. The Zorthai, who watch from a distance, are stunned. They had doubted the Reapers' methods, had questioned their ruthlessness and lack of decorum, but now they see the results. They witness the agility, the cunning, the sheer audacity of these humans who fight without fear, who adapt to every situation with a cold and calculated resolve. Their skepticism begins to shift to awe as they realize that the Reapers are not just warriors, they are strategists, thinkers, and masters of psychological warfare. The Krellick, once confident in their overwhelming superiority, find themselves on the defensive. Their formations break, their soldiers hesitate, unsure of where the next attack will come from. Confusion spreads through their ranks, and their advance begins to falter. They retreat, regrouping to reassess their strategy, bewildered by the ferocity and unpredictability of their opponents. For the first time, the Krellick know fear. The Reapers stand victorious, if only for a moment. They have forced the enemy to retreat, buying precious time for the Zorthai to regroup and fortify their remaining defenses. But they know this is only the beginning. The enemy will return, and when they do, they will be ready. Hale gives the order to prepare for the next assault, her voice calm and unwavering. The Reapers know there will be more battles to come, but they have proven their worth, and for now, they have the upper hand. The Krellick regroup, their earlier confusion replaced by a cold, calculated fury. They have learned from their defeat, and now they return with new weapons and a revised strategy. Their warships, now fitted with adaptive shields that absorb incoming fire, advance with renewed aggression. Ground forces deploy with enhanced armor, and swarms of drone fighters sweep through the skies, scanning for any sign of the Reapers. This time, they do not seek to overpower, they seek to hunt. The Reapers quickly realize the enemy has changed its tactics. The Krellick are moving with greater caution, their formations tighter, their approach more methodical. The drones, equipped with advanced scanning technology, make it nearly impossible to hide. Commander Hale gathers her team, her expression grim. They are running out of time. The enemy is adapting faster than expected, and the Reapers cannot afford to be caught off guard. She knows they need to disrupt the Krellick command structure to create another opening. A plan begins to form. It is risky, perhaps even reckless, but Hale knows it's their best chance. They will infiltrate the Krellick's command ship, the nerve center of their operations. If they can take out the command crew and sabotage the main systems, they could throw the entire enemy force into chaos. The mission is delicate and dangerous. The command ship is heavily guarded, and any mistake could be fatal. Yet the Reapers are used to operating under pressure. Each member understands their role. They know there is no room for error. Under the cover of night, they move. The Reapers advance with precision, using the shadows and terrain to their advantage. Drax leads the way, using his skills to bypass the security systems and create a temporary blind spot in the enemy's surveillance network. They reach the command ship's hull, where Nara's keen eyes spot a weakness in the external defenses. She signals to Vargas, who carefully plants charges to create a breach point. They enter silently, navigating the narrow corridors with practiced ease. The air is thick with tension, every step a careful calculation. The enemy crew is close, their movements audible through the metallic walls. The Reapers stick to the shadows, moving with a stealth that defies the bulk of their armor. They split into teams, each with a specific objective: to disable the communications array, take out key personnel, and hack into the mainframe to disable the automated defenses. As they advance deeper into the ship, the tension mounts. A patrol passes by, too close for comfort, and for a moment, it seems they might be discovered. Nara signals them to hold, her finger poised on the trigger. The patrol hesitates, then moves on. The Reapers breathe a silent sigh of relief and continue their advance. But the close call reminds them of the stakes. One wrong move, and everything could fall apart. They reach the central command chamber. Hale gives the signal, and they breach the door in one swift motion. The enemy officers inside barely have time to react before they are subdued. Drax immediately sets to work on the main console, fingers flying over the controls as he begins to disable the ship's systems. Vargas and Nara cover him, eyes scanning for any sign of reinforcements. The Reapers move with deadly efficiency, each action precise and coordinated. But then, a sudden alarm blares. A security measure they hadn't anticipated. The doors lock, and the lights turn red. They are trapped. For a brief, harrowing moment, panic threatens to set in. But Hale's voice cuts through the tension, steady and commanding. She orders Drax to continue his work, while the rest prepare for a fight. They know they must hold the room until Drax can finish the job. The enemy begins to converge on their position. The Reapers brace for close-quarters combat, every second feeling like an eternity. The first wave hits, and the Reapers fight with a ferocity born from desperation. They use the confined space to their advantage, turning the narrow corridors into choke points. Every shot counts, every strike deliberate. Nara's rifle finds its marks, and Vargas's close combat skills shine as he takes down foes with brutal efficiency. Drax finally breaks through the security protocols, shutting down the command ship's communication and targeting systems. The ship's lights flicker, and a sudden stillness falls over the battlefield. The Krellic forces, relying on centralized commands, falter. Confusion spreads as orders become garbled, and automated defenses turn against their own troops. The Reapers seize the moment, finishing their tasks with speed and precision. They extract themselves from the command ship, slipping back into the shadows as chaos erupts among the enemy ranks. The Krellic forces are thrown into disarray, their movements erratic and confused. For now, the Reapers have gained the upper hand, their gamble paying off. But as they regroup, a new unease settles over them. They realize the Krellic may have more surprises in store, something darker and more dangerous than they had anticipated. The victory feels hollow, a temporary reprieve in a war that is far from over. The Reapers know they must prepare for what comes next, aware that the enemy is not yet defeated and that they themselves may have underestimated the full extent of the threat they face. The Reapers stand on the edge of the battlefield, their minds sharpened by the weight of what's to come. They know this is it, the final confrontation that will decide the fate of the Zorthai. Everything has led to this moment. Commander Hale surveys her team, seeing the resolve in their eyes, the weariness tempered by unyielding determination. They've faced impossible odds before, but this battle feels different. The Krellic are desperate, and desperate enemies are the most dangerous. The Krellic, now cornered, have deployed their last card, an elite unit known as the Doomclaws. These soldiers are genetically enhanced, towering over their counterparts, equipped with devastating weapons and reinforced armor. Alongside them, a hidden weapon, an ancient superweapon buried deep within their fleet, begins to activate. The air hums with its dark energy, a reminder that the Krellick are prepared to destroy everything if it means taking their enemies down with them. The Reapers adjust their strategies, aware that brute strength alone won't win this battle. They rely on their resilience in the terrain, setting up traps, creating choke points, and preparing for the onslaught. The Zorthai, still reeling from the chaos of previous battles, now join them with a renewed sense of purpose. Their technology, combined with the Reapers' combat prowess, forms a fragile but potent alliance. The Zorthai leaders, who once doubted the humans, now stand beside them, their advanced weaponry ready to strike in tandem. The battle begins with an explosion of energy and firepower. The Doomclaws charge forward, their sheer force threatening to overwhelm. But the Reapers are relentless, using every ounce of their training and experience to hold the line. Vargas leads the ground assault, his team moving like a well-oiled machine, exploiting every weakness in the Doomclaws' armor. Nara provides cover from above, her shots precise and devastating. Drax, working furiously, uses the Zorthai's technology to create interference, disrupting the enemy's targeting systems. Amidst the chaos, a critical moment of cooperation emerges. The Zorthai's shielding technology, initially used defensively, is modified to form a protective barrier that allows the Reapers to move closer to the enemy lines without being exposed to direct fire. The Reapers, in turn, share tactical insights, showing the Zorthai how to use their tech offensively, creating a devastating combination of precision and power. This unexpected collaboration turns the tide, allowing them to gain ground against the overwhelming odds. As the battle rages, the ancient superweapon begins to power up, its activation sending shockwaves across the battlefield. The Reapers and Zorthai realize that unless they stop it, everything will be lost. Hale, with her usual composure, quickly devises a plan to destroy the weapon before it can fire. It's a risky move, requiring them to penetrate deep into the heart of the Krellick fleet. With time running out, they launch a final, all-out assault, combining the full might of their unconventional strategies and advanced technology. The climax of the battle is a furious storm of combat. The Reapers and Zorthai fight side by side, their movements synchronized as if they had trained together for years. They push through the enemy ranks, every step a battle, every inch gained a hard-won victory. The Doomclaws, though formidable, begin to falter under the relentless pressure. Drax, hacking into the enemy's systems one last time, shuts down the superweapon's defenses, leaving it vulnerable. Hale leads the final charge, with Vargas and Nara at her side. They reach the core of the weapon, planting charges and setting the timers. The enemy, sensing defeat, launches a desperate counterattack, but it's too late. The charges detonate, and the superweapon is obliterated in a blinding flash of light. The shockwave ripples through the Krellick fleet, sending their forces into disarray. The remaining Krellick, leaderless and broken, retreat into the void, their threat finally extinguished. Victory is theirs, but it comes at a cost. The battlefield is littered with the debris of war, the scars of the conflict etched into the landscape. The Reapers, though victorious, do not celebrate. They are warriors, and they know the weight of what has been lost, even in victory. The Zorthai, too, are changed. The peace they once knew is gone, replaced by a deeper understanding of the galaxy's harsh realities. They look to the Reapers, not just as saviors, but as allies who have shown them a path to survival. As the dust settles, the Reapers prepare to depart. Their mission is complete, but there are no farewells, no lingering words. They leave as they came, a shadow in the night, bound for the next conflict, the next battle. The Zorthai watch them go, their hearts heavy with gratitude and a newfound resolve. They now understand the true nature of these humans, deadly, yes, but also capable of forging bonds in the most unlikely of places. The Zorthai civilization is forever changed, tempered by the fire of war and strengthened by the alliance forged in the heat of battle. The Reapers fade into the stars, their presence a memory, but their impact indelible. The galaxy will remember this day, not just for the battle that was fought, but for the unexpected alliance that turned the tide, proving that even in the darkest times, there is strength in unity and power in the most unconventional of allies.